we have not lost sight, not for one moment, of our critical mission in Gaza to rescue our hostages from the hands of Iran's proxies, Hamas, of our moral duty to do everything we can to bring back home 133 hostages.
The IDF has reaffirmed its commitment to rescue hostages who have been held captive by Hamas terrorists for more than 6 months. The military's message comes after Iran launched a direct attack on Israel, launching a barrage of more than 300 missiles and drones in what was Iran's first direct attack on Israeli soil. Now, the IDF claims to have intercepted 99% of the missiles launched, and the latest reports from Israeli officials claim that Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's cabinet are in favour of a retaliation towards Iran. Tehran has warned, though, it will conduct further strikes against Israel if it or the US retaliates, and the United States has made it clear that it will not participate in an offensive towards Iran over concerns of further escalation.
Last night, a defensive coalition of Israel and its international partners successfully thwarted a large-scale attack from Iran. Iran and its proxies launched over 350 suicide drones, cruise missiles and ballistic missiles and rockets from Iran, Iraq, Yemen, Hezbollah in Lebanon towards Israel, with approximately 60 tons of warheads and explosive materials. But the threat from Iran was met with the aerial operational, technological and intelligence superiority of a united defensive coalition of international allies led by the United States together with Great Britain, France and other partners in the region. Together, we intercepted 99% of the threat towards Israel. Together, we thwarted Iran's attack. Iran's unprecedented attack was met with an unprecedented defense. This was the first time that such a coalition worked together against the threat of Iran and its proxies in the Middle East.
Now, the IDF says it's not lost sight of its critical mission in Gaza. And as world leaders call for calm, all eyes are on Benjamin Netanyahu and his response.
Hamas recently rejected the hostage release proposal offered to them by the mediators. Hamas and Iran want to ignite the Middle East and to escalate the region. We are still on high alert and assessing the situation. Over the last few hours, we approved operational plans for both offensive and defensive actions. We will continue to protect the State of Israel, and together with our partners, we will continue to build a more secure and stable Middle East.
Iran launched the attacks in waves. More than 300 missiles and drones were fired at Israel in an unprecedented assault whilst the world held its breath. They arrived in Israeli airspace just before 2 a.m. in the morning. These were intercepts over Jerusalem. The holy city was under attack and the skies above alight with the trails of Israel's air defense system. The region had been on edge for days, but this was a bigger, far more dangerous retaliation than many predicted. The Israeli military warned people to stay close to bomb shelters.
Dozens of unmanned aircraft were intercepted outside the borders of the State of Israel. The IDF does and will do everything that is required to protect the security of the citizens of the State of Israel.
As the nation braced, airspace was closed over Jordan and Iraq. Flights in the air headed for Tel Aviv were turned back. The US Embassy told its staff to take shelter, and schools in Israel have been ordered to close for the next 2 days. The Israeli military released this video of the drones and missiles being intercepted. Most were taken down outside of Israeli airspace. The few missiles that did fall within the country only caused minor damage. Most were intercepted before they reached Israeli airspace. This was the remains of a missile shot down over northern Iraq. The US president has condemned the attack in what he calls the strongest possible terms, but has urged Israel to take the win and not do anything to escalate the situation. The Israeli president, though, told Sky News that the attack was a declaration of war.
This is like a real war. This is a declaration of war, not because we are restrained and because we know the repercussions and because we have deliberations with our partners. We are considering all options, and I'm quite confident that we will take the necessary steps that are necessary to protect and defend our people. We are not war seekers.
Iran has said that its action is finished and warned Israel not to respond.
From our point of view, this operation is over and there is no intention to continue the operation. But if the Zionist regime takes any action against the Islamic Republic, whether on our soil or in places belonging to us in Syria or elsewhere, our next operation will be much larger.
The attacks were celebrated by regime supporters in Tehran. They might be satisfied by the response, but Israel might feel it has no choice but to retaliate. This could still be just the beginning.